Show me retro.
What is up, guys? So I am on my way to Alton, Illinois to hopefully get this epic deal on letgo. Letgo has just been a gold mine lately. This one seems too good to be true. I still can't believe the enormity of this deal. It's probably the biggest score that I've ever gotten as far as what I'm paying and what I'm getting. The profit margin here is crazy. And I talked to him on the phone and message, so I was thinking maybe I was just going to walk in and get murdered, because we are doing a porch thing. This is not in a public place. I was hoping it would be, and it's not. And the house from Google Maps kind of looks like the house from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And he did actually sound kind of like Leatherface's brother. But I'm good at reading people. I've been buying and selling for many, many years. So I called my wife, and she was just like, this doesn't sound right. I just think he's just not aware of what he has. He was downplaying it because of some things that I'll get to later, why he thought it wasn't worth anything. It's a Sega Saturn deal. I will get back in the car, and I will then show some video of me going over it as I get home. So I will get back to you guys. So I am back in the car. I'm on the highway. The deal was real. I still don't know exactly the full extent. I haven't checked the discs of the Saturn games, and I don't know if the console works, because he had RF and all he had was a large HD TV, and I just said, no, I just wanted to get out of there. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little creepy. The house was old and it was dark, and I wanted to do the deal on the porch, but he insisted that I come in. He was just like, nah, come on in. It's in here. Your spidey sense starts to go off.
My spider senses are starting to tingle.
I walk in, it's very dark, it's very messy, and not the greatest smelling. And at one point I realized I'm ahead of him. I don't even know where he's at in his house. My heart started to kind of beat a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I shouldn't have put myself in that situation, but I usually have a pretty good judge of character, even over the phone and over texting. You can just kind of tell. Yeah, he could have hit me over the back of the head and put me in the freezer and maybe ate me, but I filmed the whole thing in my pocket, so just in case he did do something, there at least would have been some video, and kind of Blair Witch style, they would have found it, and that wouldn't have mattered, I'd be dead anyway. But I made sure my wallet was in the car, locked up in the glove box. And say, looking back on it now, it sounds really shady, but he did want to talk about how haunted the town was. He also had a Lamb of God t-shirt on for the metal band, which that's not the way you answer the door in a creepy old house, with a big beard and a Lamb of God t-shirt and a voice that was kind of like backwoods. Hey man, it's in here, come on, no, you gotta come in, it's in here. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little creepy, but everything worked out good. So I will see you back at home, and then we'll go over everything that I got. So back at the house, it was roughly an hour-and-a-half round trip. And for the most part, it went really well. It wasn't quite as epic as what I originally had hoped, but we'll get into that in a minute. So here's the ad that I initially saw on letgo. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but basically it shows that 96 people had already viewed this at this point. Why he responded to me, I'm not really sure. I can't remember how long it had been up prior to me sending this automated message like, you know, is it still available? A day or so went by before he had got back to me, and then he said, yes, it is available. Here's my number, call me. So I immediately called, and no answer. I then called again. I got like a pickup and a hang up. You know, his number had a California area code. So there's a lot of red flags. Another day goes by after these missed phone calls. I think I left it at, hey, I tried to call you. You didn't answer back. Here's my number. Please call me if it's still available. I want to buy it. I get a random message saying, yeah, it's still available. I'll give you a call in a minute. About 15 minutes go by. He calls me. He sounds a little strange on the phone, but he just said, yeah, you can come right now. I tried to meet in a public place, but he had an issue with a vehicle, so I had to go to his house. So there was another kind of a red flag. The price, the California area code, and I have to go to his house in Alton. This is basically how, he showed them to me. So Rayman, no cracks in the case, which is rare for Saturn games. These long boxes are fragile. Even opening them, you can break them. So here's a $50 game. The next one was Wing Arms, which isn't worth much, maybe 10 to 15. But again, the case is great. There is some water damage to the manual. It's kind of flaking, no big deal. But even these cases are worth $4 and $5 a piece. Next one's Siberia, which is another one I didn't have. But he's missing the manual, but he's got the spine in the back. So say you were going to store this, somebody making a collection, at least you got the spine. And that's another $10 game or so. Next we have Sonic 3D Blast. Very cool though, the case is in great shape. This is $40 all day long. And now the big one, a stall, $80 game. And I just showed this one off in my Saturn collection. So I own this game. Of these 5, this is the only one that I own. And you'll notice this, it's very strange. It doesn't say a stall. It's one of the only Saturn games I know of that actually doesn't put the name on the spine. Not sure the story behind that, but look at this case. Still has the protective foam. Unbelievable. So then there's a system, and he was justifying the $20 price for me, going, oh, I'm missing the controller and the battery, the CR20 whatever, right here, that's dead. And he's like, I haven't played it in a while, and I did say, it does work, right? And he said, yeah, it works. I just haven't played it in a while. And I'm like, hey, that's fine. I'm like wanting to get out of there. I could have had him plug this in and test it, but in the condition that it's in, I mean, look at this. I can't even find a scratch on this thing. Probably one of the best looking used Saturns I've ever seen. But then when I get home, first thing I do is I plug this in and I power it on and I get no light. No! And I'm thinking, maybe it's my outlet, maybe it's the power cord. I went and got another power cord because it takes a very generic power cord. And I got another one and it did not work. I opened it up. These are very easy to open up. And the fuse, it's easy to take out. The fuse is up here. It's in a little clip. Fuse was not blown. So that was disappointing. Now I tinker with things. I used to work on PlayStation Portables, and I just don't know what's wrong with this thing. I've never worked on a Saturn. I'm not sure if anybody knows in the comment section what would cause. Probably something on the main power supply. But even in this broken state, it's still worth 30 to 40 bucks on eBay because of the condition, and to somebody else it might be an easy fix. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. If I should keep it in case I find another one and do a case swap, if I find one that works but is in really rough shape, I'm not sure. But we're talking, this is 80, this is 40, these are around 20, then another 45 to 50, plus 30, it's over $200 right here. Just even as is with this. Overall, the deal went really well. It just wasn't quite as good as I had hoped, but it was still one of my better deals ever. Had this worked, it probably would have been one of the biggest, I guess, scores as far as what I paid and the value of what I got. Now, on the way home, I did decide to go to Goodwill because I'd already had a really good day and I was kind of on a high, so I thought, even though I never find anything at Goodwill, I don't think I've ever bought a gaming related item at Goodwill, I thought that I would give it a shot. Seemed like my lucky day. So I walk in there and the gaming section got some games but nothing worth really buying. So I look over at the movie section and I remember that VHS tapes, even though they're not my thing, there's some that are worth money. I happened to see the Star Wars trilogy. Now they're not in the best condition, but definitely not bad. And my Goodwill has VHS tapes 5 for $1 or $1 a piece. After I found these 3, I thought, well, I gotta find 2 more. So I'm looking and I'm looking. That's when I saw this one. Now I've never seen this version. Episode 1, we all know how that movie turned out.
It's embarrassing.
But I've never seen this. It's kind of got this 3D, it's not really picking it up on camera, kind of a lenticular where it changes as you look at it. I've never seen this clamshell before. And then inside, it's got the movie with a slip sleeve. Very unique. And I thought this had to be worth something, more than what I was paying. I was looking for one more, and I remembered somebody had said that blank sealed tapes can be sometimes worth something. I don't remember whose video on YouTube it was. And this one says Blockbuster. Blockbuster being now the kind of the collectible thing that it is. I just thought, why not get that one? This one had a blue tag. I started to rip it off, and these all had the yellow tags. So I went to the counter and she said, well, you got 4 with a yellow tag and 1 with a blue, so I'm gonna have to charge you 75 cents. And I was like, whatever. I thought she meant another 75 cents because I didn't know what the different color tags meant. When I looked at my receipt going to the car, the whole lot was 75 cents. No tax, just 75 cents. So that was a pretty crazy deal. Now, I don't know what any of this stuff is worth. I haven't looked up any of it. Could be worth, I don't know, $5, $10. Could be worth maybe 20, all this together. I don't really know, but I thought it would be worth something, especially worth more than what I paid. So overall, this was a pretty good haul for $20.75.
You betcha, yeah.
It's not the kind of deals I normally get. This was just one of these days that I just got lucky, and that's kind of why I did this impromptu video, which I usually don't do, but it just kind of was like, wow, I kind of hit the jackpot. I wish this worked. Again, if anybody knows something to check other than the fuse on that, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I don't really know where to start. I guess I would have to get out a voltmeter and start checking different things. But even if I did find the problem, I'd still then have to buy the part and run the risk of, I'm not the best solderer in the world. I can solder, but I'm not that great. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but still, this was a great deal. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. It really helps out. I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.